How you doing, everybody? It's Jay Non, the San Antonio Metal Music Examiner with Access.com, coming to you from downtown San Antonio at the Corova. What an incredible night of molten metal we have today. It is the United States tour kickoff of Soulfly, Suffocation, Battlecross, Abnormality, Lody Kong, and wow, look at the guys around me here. The first family of Brazilian heavy metal, and easily one of the top families of heavy metal, period. The Cavaleras. Say hello to Max Cavalera, of course.
How you doing, man?
Zyon and Igor are here as well from Lody Kong, his sons. Gentlemen, how are you? It's great to have you here. Thank you so much. Wow, where to begin? Like I said, it's the first night of the tour. Soulfly is touring in support of Archangel! The only proper way to say that, I think.
Yeah.
So, let me start with you guys. Max, are just going around. First night of the tour, how excited are you to be back on the road and here in San Antonio in particular?
Oh yeah, man, very excited. You know, we just got back from South America, so yeah, we had 2 days at home just to grab a pair of clean underwear and jump right back on tour, man. You know, it's non-stop.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited, you know, having them playing, you know, Lody Kong, Battlecross, Suffocation. It's a great bill.
Yeah.
Great metal bill, and everybody, I think, that's gonna come here is gonna get out happy.
Yeah.
They saw a lot of metal
in
one night, so it's gonna be great.
Max's sons are Zyon's pulling double duty. He is the drummer in Soulfly, and of course the opening act, Lody Kong. Of course, Igor fronts Lody Kong. You guys just released an album, Dreams and Visions, released last month. I believe that's your debut full length, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So first full length thing we did so far.
I mean, I've heard a couple tracks. I mean, it might be cliche to say, but to me, it has that punky thrash vibe mixed together. I don't know if that's comparisons you're getting or what you're going for. Just talk about the making of the album and just kind of how everything came about.
Yeah, we just, you know, we have a lot of different influences. We've been doing music since we were, 3 or 4 years old. So we've gone and just seen, everything and all different types of bands. And, when we started making music, we didn't just want to be one type, we wanted to take everything we learned from a lot of different cool bands and kind of put it all into the same thing. And that's kind of where it came from, we just didn't put any boundaries, didn't, set any markers or anything, and just went for it. And it came out good. It came out raw and just aggressive, and, that's what we were going for.
Zyon, your take on the songs and the process?
Oh yeah, well, we just kind of like grew up around music so much that we kind of were like forced to, just keep a tab on what was going on, keep track of all like new artists and all that. So my job with the record was to just try to make it like have some new elements and just make it sound fresh and new to the ears, and tried some editing techniques and stuff like that. Just nowadays, like, you can get so involved with like software and computer stuff, so if you put in a lot of work, you can make it sound cool. And I just wanted shit to sound different, and like you said, just not have any boundaries, and just try to give the fans something cool and make something that I think is cool as well.
Max, I think Zyon, you started in Soulfly on the Savages record, I believe.
Yeah.
Was that your first one? So that was 2013, and of course the new one, like I said, Archangel, fabulous stuff. When you first were looking for the drummer, before it was thought that, oh, maybe I'll try Zyon, my own son, in the band, what were you thinking? What were you looking for? Did something just click and go, hey, let me try my son? How did that all shake out?
Yeah, kind of like that. It was we had a drummer for a while that didn't work out, and Dave Kincaid, and he recorded Enslaved with us, and I like the record a lot. I think Slave came out really good. It's real heavy, but I didn't even start trying a lot of other drummers, and Zyon offered himself. He raised his hand like, I can do it.
Okay.
If you want me to do it, I'll do it. And I was like, really? And then we had a big festival in Belgium, and it just it's your chance, and so I think his first show was a big festival.
Yeah, I'd only been playing for like a year or two, so I didn't know if I could do it.
Trial by fire.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go out there and look like a rookie or like a newbie, so I worked real hard like when I got that offer, and I did okay. Had a good show, so
like how much preparation? Like, did you, before you even told your dad that you wanted to join, did you like learn all the songs and like kind of surprise him and go, "Hey, Dad, I know all these songs"?
Oh, man.
Were you pretty nervous before that first festival show?
Man, I've been to so many of his shows. Like I think they knew more than I did that I knew the stuff already. You know, just like hearing it as many times as I've heard all the songs, and just I had always had an interest in drums, so I'd always like kick it in the back and watch the drummer.
Yeah.
And once I had a chance to like learn the songs and all that, like it was cake to learn them.
Yeah.
It was just more of like an energy thing and just like reacting to the crowd's energy and stuff like that. That was what I had no idea about yet, but I knew the songs before I even knew how to drum. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
Some of the songs I want to ask you about, Max, on the new album, Sodomites is really cool. I love Bethlehem's Blood, just all the way throughout, and then the horns kind of kick in and give it a nice touch, which is something you've delved with or dabbled with in the past before. What was the thought process as far as whenever you bring horns into a song? Do you just use it as a specific, like, okay, a little moment here just to give it a little taste? Does a certain song have a certain feel where it calls for that sort of thing?
Yeah, add atmosphere to the album. You know, I think that's really important. I think when you're making a record, the songs is the songs. You know, it's the meat, but you can put stuff on top of it to make it more exciting and different. You know, and working with Matt Hyde was great. You know, he's a great producer, and he really loved the direction the album was going. I told him about the Archangel idea and the biblical stuff. You know, and he loved that. And we started making like sound effects for between songs, and I love all the stuff Matt did. It was all him, you know. I just had the idea for Bethlehem's Blood. I thought of these horns called shofar horns they were used back in the Bible days. It's made out of horns of like sheep horns.
Yeah.
People play on them, you know, back in the Bible.
He's always
Bible
doing
days.
shit like that. He'll be like, "Hey, let's make a new intro," and I'll be like, "All right, what do you want to do?" And he says like some crazy instrument. He's like some Greek, Babylonian, Tibetan fucking gongs or some shit.
I love that.
And I'll be like, "All right," and I make it, and it sounds kind of cool. I'm like, I don't know how the hell you thought of that,
But then that's cool because you can claim, hey, no other band has tried this, most likely.
Yeah.
So you're
He
being innovators. Yeah.
He studies music more than anybody I know, and it's just because he loves it, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't, like,
So I tried different things like that, but you know, I think it's cool. All of our records have a little bit stuff like that. Then I think it's cool. Like even their album, like the Lody Kong album, has like a rain that his mother recorded in Russia. They put it in the end of on the end of the record. It sounds killer, man. It's like really cool, and so yeah, it's just stuff like that to make the record a little bit more exciting for people to hear.
Yeah.
You know, I still love I believe in the art form of an album as an album.
Sure.
You know, I'm not like those internet kids that just one song where, you know, like it's an album, man. You gotta listen to this thing as a whole,
Right.
like a whole thing. You know, that's how I listen to records still. You know, and when I enter a studio to make a record, I'm making a record. It's beginning to the end.
Yeah.
It's it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so I love making little things like that. You know, depends on the producer. Some producers love doing stuff like that, like Matt. Some other producers don't really care for that at all, so you end up not putting anything just because the guy doesn't care for it, you know. So it depends on each specifically different producer, but Matt was really into the whole, man, he got into me, like he started teaching me Kabbalah and shit. I was like, dude, I'm not ready for this shit, man. He's like, no, man, come on. And he's like telling me words in Hebrew and shit. Like, I end up using some in Archangel, you know. Malkut, Gebura, Gedula, that's like Kabbalah words from like back in the Hebrew, like just the language of Jesus, you know. And
What does that translate to?
it translates to the glory and the power, the glory and the power, and that was just for Archangel. Then we use Adonai in Ishtar Rising, which is
Awesome
like
song.
kind of like Amen in Hebrew language. You know, Matt got really into it. You know, I didn't know much about it. I was just like, I just want to make a cool biblical record, man. But he went deep on it. You know, he got really excited for it. You know, so we just went for it. And I didn't even chant. It's cool. It's got some chants on the album.
Awesome. Igor, like I said, tonight's tour kickoff. When you guys were making the record, obviously, do you ever go to your family member? Obviously, Zion's in the band with you, but do you ever go to Max for production questions or a little tip here and there, or do you completely keep him out of it? Does he completely say, hey, you guys do your own thing because it's your band?
Yeah, we give each other our space. We pretty much did the whole record ourselves, just with our producer as well. And he was the same kind of guy like Matt. You know, he liked to do noises, and if we happened to make the amp do something weird and get it on a microphone, we're going to use it on the album, where most people would just be like, oh, that's a noise. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty much all us. All of our ideas were, you know, from either between me and Zyon or the other guys in the band. And, you know, it's what we wanted to do. You know, we didn't want people to come and be like, oh yeah, your fucking dad wrote all your records. Like, how do you feel? You know, it's like, nah, we wrote all of it. We recorded it. We did all this. He heard it once it was done, basically.
Yeah.
And a little bit live and stuff like that. But yeah, it was all pretty much us.
Yeah. And Zyon, that's actually something I kind of wanted to ask you, as far as maybe not really putting you on the spot, but biggest advantage and maybe disadvantage of having your father in the same band, or you being in the same band as your dad. Do you get a lot of public perception, like, oh, you're riding your dad's coattails in Soulfly, that sort of thing? Or obviously on the road and you get to stay family life, that's got to be a huge advantage. He's not away from family life or the road. He's not away from home and you guys for months at a time, because you are on the road together. Yeah. So how does the good and the bad mix for you?
Well, as long as I have time to do a little bit of both, that's the main thing for me. If Soulfly is touring too much, I kind of need to tell like the management, like, I need a little bit of time to do this. And it sucks to be in that position, because, like, you know, any other drummer should just have to do what they say, you know.
Right.
I have like some stuff going on back home too, and I'm young, and you know, they see that I have something young sprouting that can grow into something big with my brother. So I definitely need time to water those plants as well.
Yeah.
You know, but there's so many good things. Just the more I play, the better I get, and the chance that I have to play 2 sets a night, I'm so blessed to be able to do that. I'm physically able to do it. That's pretty gnarly. I don't know the science on how many calories I'm burning, but I'm working my ass off, and that's the important thing for me. As long as you're working hard, you'll get the job done.
Cool. And Igor, if you look right behind you, there's a little book here. I wanted to ask about Max's autobiography, My Bloody Roots. I have not had a chance to read it all yet, but I have seen the excerpts on Soulfly's website. A particular passage that you wrote on there was very moving, that I wanted to ask you about, where you talked about drinking and how it's just kind of shaped the way you kind of made your music, but also growing up and what you're like when you're drunk, when you weren't drunk, that sort of thing, and fighting. And at the end, you basically said that was a product of the fact that you had lost your father at an early age. Right. So how much of what's going on now in your life as a father to these guys are you, obviously you're trying to set an example, I would imagine, as a parent, and having them in the bands and on the road with you all the time has got to be a good thing too, but just what example are you trying to set as a parent, and from learning from the mistakes that you may have made when you were growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're trying a new way of parenting. It's not like old-fashioned dad. It's really, they're my friends, literally, you know, which I think is the coolest, you know, because I get to hang out with them, and I get to play music with them, which is even cooler. About the drinking and the drugs, I did a lot of that, and you know, went to the edge, man, you know, and it was affecting my music. So about 10 years ago, I quit everything. I'm a pretty extreme person. I do, you know, like I do all or nothing, you know. There's no middle term with me. So once I decided to stop, I was not like just like stop the drugs but continue the drinking, you know, like some people do. It's like, it's gone, it's done. And yeah, music became my drug, you know, which is cool. Like, it replaced what I needed to get from drinking and drugging. Music now is my source. And that's why I became more active in the last 10 years than ever before. I'm releasing more shit, you know. Killer BQ, Cavalera Conspiracy, Soulfly, 10th album, you know, books, and I think it's kind of cool, like, for people out there, like, I didn't want to preach in the book, but I want to kind of give a hint. If you're going through the same thing, it's possible to just have fun without drinking and without drugs, you know, like just with metal, just with music. It's enough, you know, and it's good. It's a great way of living, you know, and you know, for me, I'm so proud to just have my kids here watching their bands, and you know, I love the Lody Kong stuff. I think the biggest fan is their mom. You know, she is the biggest Lody Kong fan in the world, but I'm pretty close. You know, it's growing on me.
Yeah.
I like the stuff a lot, and I think the records they're doing what they want. It's very different from what I do, which I think is awesome. You know, and I'm so proud of them. And then playing with Zyon, and it's actually one tour in Europe though. Both of them came, and Igor was playing bass, Zyon was playing drums, and it was kick-ass.
Yeah.
You know, we can even form a band if you want it. You know, probably not be a bad idea. We'll save that for the future though. But yeah, you know, so I put a little bit on the book, but just to give it for people out there, there is a way to live without that and still have fun, and still you know, let the music be your main source of inspiration.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, first family of metal right here, pretty much. And we were talking with Max before, when we first got on the bus before the camera went on, that I had the pleasure of covering the Cavalera Conspiracy show 12 months ago, almost 12 months, exactly a year and 10 days ago from today, the Texas Independence Fest in Austin. That was a great treat for me, because not only was it my first time seeing Cavalera Conspiracy live, but of course Igor, your brother, was on drums. And I know you've gone on record before as saying that during the whole Sepultura process, there was a time where, of course, when you left the band, he was still in there for 10 years, and it caused such a rift between you guys that you literally didn't speak to one another for a decade. So what I would like to know is how great it was seeing you two on stage in that band nowadays. What was the turning point that got it back together? Did the two of you just say, hey, we're grown up now, life's too short, blood is thicker than water, or just how did it up?
Yeah, he quit Sepultura and you know, called me, and so it all came from him actually, because I was just waiting, man. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but it's like it's already been 10 years without talking to him. It sucks because it's my brother-in-law and I love him, and it shouldn't be like this, you know. But thank God that he called and we made peace, and he was welcome back in my family, and then we started Cavalera Conspiracy, which is a real kick-ass band, you know. And I love the first record, Inflicted. I think came out really good. So we're just having fun now. And I think, you know, a little bit what happened to Dimebag was a kind of an eye opener, you know, too, because he had a brother in the band, too, Vinny, and I saw Vinny after that. You can sense the pain that he's going through, you know. So it makes you like really enjoy each moment together. So I really now enjoy the time with Igor a lot.
Sure.
Much different than when I was in Sepultura, which I didn't care, you know. It's like whatever. But now it's like, you know, when we do stuff together, like we're gonna play the whole Roots album at the end of the year.
Wow.
It's gonna be fun and exciting, you know. So it's so good that our brotherhood, friendship, it's all back. We got to meet their kids. He met my kids, and you know, he gave a couple presents for Zyon, like some drum stuff from Brazil.
Awesome.
So yeah, man, you know, it's all good. Just love the fact that everybody we're connected together, and 10 years it was hard, it was difficult, stressful, sad, but it's life. You know, you gotta get through it, overcome, and we did overcome, and now the future just looks good. We're just gonna keep doing more stuff, and the family will grow more and more, and which is great, you know.
That's a great lesson. I mean, especially with all the musicians we're losing, especially in 2016. I mean, just a lesson out there for all you guys. If you have a riff in your family members or something, patch it up before it's too late. So I wanted to ask you, Max, you have worked with so many other musicians over the years on various records. I mean, the list goes on. Corey Taylor, David Ellefson, even Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit. You've worked with so many musicians. I believe Roy Mayorga from Stone Sour was produced or directed one of Lody Kong's records. Is that right?
Yeah, he produced EP that we put out in like 2012.
There you go. So is there, I mean, obviously all these guys have to cite you as an influence, but is there any one of those guys in particular that you learned something from the most, and what was it?
Oh yeah, I mean, almost all of the collaboration you get something from it. I think that's what's cool about collaborating with people. And from some of them, sometimes other things are born, like when I did Rise of the Fallen with Greg from the Ninja Escape Plan. Killer BQ was born of that, you know. So, and I love the Killer BQ stuff. We're gonna make some new stuff later this year to come out next year, you know.
Great.
And you know, some of my favorite was Tom Arai, of course. I was a big Slayer fan. Doing Terrorist with him was amazing, you know. I love all the stuff we did with Chino, the Deftones. I'm a big Deftones fan, you know. So
You got the Fear Factory guys in there.
yeah, man, you know. So all buddies, all friends, you know. And I love what Soulfly is doing right now. All these tours we're doing. We did the Soil Work, we did the Crowbar. Now we're doing Suffocation. These packages, man.
Yeah.
I told Gloria, keep me going on these packages forever. I don't want to do another record. I just want to keep touring. There's so many great bands out there to tour with, you know. So I love this kind of package, and I love you make a lot of bonding friendships from it, you know. And so that's another great thing about touring with friends of yours, you know.
And that's great, because I was about to ask you for an update on Killer Be Killed and your other projects, and hopefully you said that you're going to be playing the Roots album in its entirety. Hopefully that'll come back to San Antonio.
I hope so. I don't know. They're booking that. They're booking it right now, so we'll see what happens. You know, like hopefully. But you know, I like I said, I will gonna write some new music for Killer Be Killed for next year.
Yeah.
And hopefully keep touring with Soulfly too for a little while, a little longer, and waiting for new music from these guys. You know, they have a awesome new lineup with the guitar player from Noisem, Travis, and their friend Noah, and I think the band is the best they ever been right now. So people gonna get their ass kicked tonight. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be awesome. First night of the tour. Soulfly, Suffocation, Battlecross, Abnormality, Lody Kong. Go check them out. Look up the dates. Check them out. Coming out to a city near you, most likely. Final question before I let you go and get ready for the show tonight, because Lody Kong's got to go on in a little while to start the whole thing off. I know it's a general question, but what sticks out the most from your Sepultura days? Just memorable show, memorable moment, recording of a certain album, anything that just, what do you think about a lot from those times?
Most memorable, I think, that I like to think that we did that was cool. It was how different the records were from each other, you know. And I think that's something that's very difficult to do, you know. And we never repeat the same album, you know. So it's like Beneath the Remains and Arise were a little bit similar, but from Arise to Chaos AD was very different, and from Roots to Chaos AD was very different. And I think that's like risk taking, you know. If you don't take risk, you know, it's not worth it, man. You gotta take risk, and I'm still taking risks even today with Soulfly, doing stuff that people are not expecting, you know, doing unpredictable stuff. That's what makes it interesting for me, and that's what I'm most proud of my Sepultura days.
Yeah. There you have it. I mean, for you young guys, all you young kids out there, if you haven't even heard of Sepultura, man, go look them up. Dead Embryonic Cells, Territory, Roots, Bloody Roots, just some of the killer songs that this band has. And no matter what your age is, go check out Soulfly, Killer Be Killed, Cavalera Conspiracy, and Lody Kong. The Cavalera family, ready to smash you in the face, and San Antonio is the lucky city enough to kick it all off tonight. So for the Cavaleras, guys, thank you so much. What an absolute pleasure. Have a great show. Hope you enjoy San Antonio as much as you can while you're around. Zyon, Max, and Igor. This is Jay Nanda, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner with Access.com, reminding you, don't hang them out to dry. Hold them up high.